You know that feeling, right? That constant juggle, trying to do more with less time, feeling like you're perpetually behind.
Oh, absolutely. It's pretty relentless.
Especially if you're in a profession where every minute counts,
Yeah.
where your impact directly affects the people you serve.
hmm
For teachers, I mean, this is just daily reality. The endless demands, the desire to connect with every student to craft really engaging lessons.
All while navigating just a mountain of admin tasks. Yeah.
Exactly. Now, imagine for a moment just gaining back 6 whole weeks in your work year.
6 weeks. Wow.
6 entire weeks. What would you even do with that time? For educators, look, this isn't some far-off fantasy anymore. It's rapidly becoming a reality thanks to, well, a technology many are still kind of figuring out.
Right. And today, we're going to take a deep dive into how artificial intelligence, AI, is quietly but pretty profoundly transforming the daily lives of K-12 teachers. Our mission here is to unpack a really fascinating new report. It's from the Walton Family Foundation and Gallup, and it's called Teaching for Tomorrow, Unlocking 6 Weeks a Year with AI.
Catchy title.
It is. And this isn't just about, abstract buzzwords or some futuristic stuff that might trickle down someday. No, this is about tangible, like on-the-ground impacts.
Happening now.
Happening now. Stuff that's already being felt on teacher workload, the quality of instruction, student engagement, and potentially, the very structure and sustainability of teaching as a profession.
That's a pretty powerful statement. And what's really compelling about this deep dive, I think, is its foundation. This isn't built on just like anecdotes or predictions.
No, not at all.
We're drawing our insights from a truly massive, comprehensive survey. This whole deep dive is based on the experiences and insights of over 2,000 K-12 public school teachers right across the U.S.
Over 2,000.
And the survey was done just a few months ago, April 2025. So it gives us this remarkably fresh, like up-to-the-minute snapshot of what's happening right now in classrooms, straight from the educators themselves.
Exactly. And the methodology they used, Walton Family Foundation and Gallup, it's incredibly robust. So we can have a pretty high degree of confidence in these findings.
Okay.
Participants were drawn from the RAND American Teacher Panel, which is, a nationally representative group, and the data was meticulously weighted.
What does that mean, weighted?
Well, it means they adjusted the numbers to make sure the sample accurately reflects the whole diverse landscape of U.S. K-12 education. So, representation across school levels, elementary, middle, high school.
Gotcha.
Student poverty levels, teacher gender, even how many years they've been teaching.
So it's not just like tech-savvy teachers in rich districts or something.
Precisely. It means we're getting a clear, data-driven, and genuinely representative picture of AI adoption and its effects on the ground. Not just, isolated examples or weird regional anomalies. It's like a national pulse check.
Right. And whether you're a parent trying to figure out this evolving educational landscape, or maybe you're an educator yourself navigating these new tools, or maybe you're just someone who loves to stay well-informed about these big societal and tech shifts, what we're about to explore, I think it's going to give you some serious aha moments.
I think so, too.
We're talking about a technology that, in many ways, it's changing everything, how we learn, teach, interact with information. So what does this all actually mean for the future of education, like right now?
Yeah, let's dig in.
Let's start by looking at the current landscape. How much AI is actually being used in our schools?
Absolutely. And one of the most striking things right out of the gate from this report, and something that I think immediately challenges common assumptions, is just how widespread AI adoption already is. We are definitely not talking about some niche group of, tech enthusiasts or just the early adopters in a few progressive districts. It's way more pervasive than I think many people might guess.
Okay, so hit me with the numbers. How widespread are we talking?
Get this. Almost 2/3. A surprising 60% of K-12 teachers have already dipped their toes in, used an AI tool for work this school year, the 2024-25 year.
Wow, 60%. That's huge. 6 out of 10 teachers.
6 out of 10. Think about that. Actively integrating some form of AI into their daily routines.
It's not some distant future thing. It's happening now, kindergarten through senior year.
Exactly. It really underscores how quickly this tech is moving from just a concept to like an everyday tool for many.
Okay, so 60% overall. But does it break down? Like, are certain teachers using it more than others?
Yeah, and what's truly fascinating here is that distribution. The report points out some pretty intriguing demographic differences that kind of give us clues about who's leading the charge and maybe why.
Like what?
Well, for instance, high school teachers. They show higher usage, around 66%. And then early career teachers, folks relatively new to the job, they're even higher, 69%.
Yeah. High school and new teachers. Why do you think that is?
Well, it suggests maybe mix of things, right? Newer educators might just be more digital native, more comfortable experimenting with new tools.
Right. Less set in their ways, maybe?
Maybe. Or perhaps their teacher training is starting to include more tech-forward stuff. Plus, think about high school teachers. Their students are older, more tech-savvy themselves, probably already using AI.
So the teachers kind of have to keep up.
Could be partly that, yeah.
Yeah.
They might explore these tools both for their own efficiency and just to understand the landscape their students are swimming in.
Makes sense. What about location? Does that matter?
It does, and this is interesting. The story doesn't end with age or experience. Geography and school environment play a pretty big role, too.
Okay.
Teachers in suburban schools report notably higher usage, 65%. Compare that to urban schools at 58% and town or rural schools at 57%.
So a noticeable suburban advantage there. Why might that be? Access? Funding?
Could be all of the above. It's not just a tiny difference, right? It kind of flashes a warning light about potential inequities.
Yeah.
It might hint at differences in access to good tech infrastructure, reliable internet, maybe funding for professional development, specifically on AI.
Or just how quickly new tools get rolled out and supported in different systems.
Exactly. And if we want this AI dividend, this time saving, to be something all teachers and students benefit from, well, we got to address those underlying gaps in resources and support.
Right, because otherwise you risk creating this AI equity gap among the teachers themselves, don't you?
That's the worry. If certain groups or regions adopt faster because they have systemic advantages, it could just make existing educational inequalities even worse.
And that affects students.
Directly. It's not just about teachers managing workload. It's about whether all students are equally prepared for an AI-driven future because their teachers' comfort and skill with these tools.
Yeah.
That can really impact their learning.
Okay, so big picture. 60% are using it, more so in high schools, suburban schools, among newer teachers. So how are they actually integrating AI into their day? Yeah,
the how is fascinating. The report gives us a really clear, practical picture. And look, it's not about flashy AI art projects or, deep statistical modeling. Not mostly.
Right, it's the daily grind stuff.
Exactly. It's about tackling those relentless everyday tasks that just eat up a teacher's time. Think about the sheer volume of lesson planning and prep.
Oh, yeah. Hours and hours.
AI is stepping in there big time. 37% of teachers say they use AI tools at least monthly just for preparing to teach. That's the single biggest use case.
Okay, preparing to teach, what does that actually look like?
Well, this breakdown really shows where teachers see the most immediate bang for their buck. Preparing lessons, creating materials. These things are super time-consuming, often repetitive, but absolutely foundational. So AI stepped in as this incredibly powerful, generative and organizational assistant. A teacher might use it to brainstorm creative ways to introduce a tricky concept.
Give me 5 ways to explain photosynthesis to 4th graders.
Exactly. Or generate a range of activities tied to specific learning standards.
Yeah.
Differentiate content for different learning styles in the same class, or even just draft initial outlines for whole units.
Wow. Okay, so give me 5 project ideas for 7th grade history on the Civil War. Make sure there's something for ESL students and a challenge for gifted kids.
Precisely that kind of prompt. The time saved there is just immense. Hours of banging your head against the wall trying to think of ideas becomes minutes of AI giving you starting points. Then the teacher refines, personalizes.
It actually connects with the kids instead of just staring at a blank page.
That's the idea. It handles the initial heavy lifting.
Okay, so lesson prep is number 1. What else are they using it for regularly?
Good question. Beyond general prep, the report gets specific. We're talking 33%, a third, of teachers using AI for making worksheets.
Worksheets, like practice problems.
Yeah, but it's probably more than just copy pasting, right? It could be rapidly generating math problems tailored to a specific skill, tweaking difficulty levels for different groups, maybe formatting interactive exercises.
Making differentiation easier.
That seems key. Then there's a significant 28% who use AI specifically for modifying student materials to meet individual needs.
Okay, that sounds like real personalization.
It really does. Maybe adapting a reading passage for a student with dyslexia, simplifying vocabulary for English language learners, providing extension activities for advanced kids.
Stuff that takes forever to do manually for every kid who needs it.
Exactly. And another 28% are using AI for admin work.
Hallelujah. Like what? Emails, scheduling,
Probably tackling those endless emails,
Yeah.
streamlining scheduling, maybe automating basic reports, all that stuff that pulls teachers away from actually teaching.
Yeah, the necessary evils.
And then a quarter, 25%, are using AI to make assessments, generating quiz questions, maybe drafting rubrics for projects, brainstorming ideas for more creative ways to assess learning.
Right, not just multiple choice.
Hopefully. But all these tasks planning, worksheets, modifying, admin assessments, they pile up. Cumulatively, they can just devour a teacher's week.
No kidding. So what are they not using it for as much? Or at least not yet.
That's also really insightful. It's interesting to contrast those common uses with the less frequent ones. For instance, only 16% use AI for grading.
Huh. Only 16%. I thought that would be higher.
Me too, initially. And only 14% for one-on-one instruction, and just 12% for analyzing complex student data.
Okay, so generation and prep, yes. But nuanced judgment, interaction, deep analysis, less so.
That seems to be the pattern, at least for now. It suggests that while AI is great at generating content, organizing things, giving you a first draft, teachers are still hesitant to hand over tasks that really need that nuanced human judgment, that deep personal interaction, or, interpreting complex patterns in student work and behavior.
So it's like AI is the superpowered assistant for the prep work.
Exactly. A powerful assistant for that foundational time-sucking prep, but not primarily a real-time teaching tool or a substitute for expert human analysis.
Which is probably a smart division of labor, right? Let the AI do the grunt work, generate ideas, and then the teacher brings the irreplaceable human touch, the teaching expertise, the understanding of the kids.
That seems to be how it's shaking out. AI handles the heavy lifting. Teachers apply their unique intelligence and pedagogical skill.
Okay. And when they do that effectively, the results. You mentioned something about an AI dividend.
Yes. This is where it gets really compelling. The AI dividend.
This is the headline-grabbing number, isn't it? The one that makes you just sit up and go, wow. 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Imagine that 6 entire weeks of your work year just given back to you. That's what teachers using AI, at least weekly, are experiencing, according to this report.
It's incredible. And they call it the AI dividend, this idea that teachers invest some initial time, right? Learning the tools, figuring out how to weave them into their workflow.
Yeah, it's not magic. It takes effort up front.
Right. But then they reap these really significant sustained time savings in return. It's a genuine return on investment.
Okay, so how does the math work? How do they get to 6 weeks from weekly use?
So the report calculates that teachers using AI tools, at least weekly, save, on average, 5.9 hours per week.
Almost a full workday for many people, every single week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, the average contracted school year in the U.S., it's around 37.4 weeks. Multiply 5.9 hours by 37.4 weeks, you get over 220 hours saved in a year.
Whoa.
And if you figure a typical contracted work week is, say, 37.5 hours, that 220 hours is equivalent to roughly 6 extra weeks of time.
Yeah.
Just returned.
That's genuinely transformative, especially in a profession known for burnout and long hours.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
And the report does show a clear difference based on how often they use it. Those weekly users save the big 5.9 hours. But even those using AI maybe just monthly, they still save a very respectable 2.9 hours a week.
So consistency pays off more, but even occasional use helps chip away at the workload.
Precisely. It reinforces that consistent, intentional engagement unlocks the biggest benefits. The more you use it, the better you get, the more time you reclaim.
This is just huge, especially when you think about that stat. What is it, teachers working 50 hours a week on average?
Yeah, the executive summary flags that.
Yeah.
Working way beyond their contracted hours. So reducing that by nearly 6 hours a week, that could be massive for well-being.
For keeping good teachers in the classroom.
Absolutely. It could alleviate some of that chronic burnout and stress that drives people out. It's not just efficiency. It's about making the job more sustainable, more fulfilling, maybe getting closer to that elusive work-life balance.
Okay, so they're saving a ton of time. Huge deal. But the big question is, what are they doing with that reclaimed time? Are they just, knocking off early, taking longer lunches?
Yeah. Well, the report emphatically says no. Overwhelmingly, teachers are strategically reinvesting this time right back into the core of their job.
Like how?
Making lessons richer, more engaging, providing more personal, meaningful feedback to students, and crucially, just getting their work done during their contracted hours, which, as we said, has a huge impact on their lives outside school.
Okay, so it's not just about efficiency, it's about quality of work and quality of life.
Exactly. And the qualitative feedback, the actual quotes from teachers in the report, they're really powerful because they move beyond just the numbers.
Give me an example.
Okay, one teacher said, "It gives me back the time I need to make lessons more engaging and better aligned with standards."
Right, so not cutting corners, but actually improving the teaching, having the headspace to be more creative, more thoughtful.
Precisely. Imagine having the bandwidth to really think about how to present a complex idea, design an interactive simulation, find diverse materials, instead of just scrambling to get something ready for the next day.
Yeah, that's huge. What else?
Another quote gets right to the student benefit. "I spend the extra time on more meaningful feedback for my students."
Okay, that's critical. Good feedback is everything for learning, but it's so time-consuming.
Totally. It's often the first thing that gets shortchanged when teachers are swamped. So AI freeing them up to do more of that vital work, that deepens the learning connection significantly.
And what about the work-life balance aspect?
Yeah, another teacher put it really well. "It also allows me to get my work done during my contracted time, so I am not having to stay late after work."
That hits home for so many teachers, I bet, that constant pressure to work evenings and weekends.
For sure. Remember the report mentioned 1 in 5 teachers are unsure about returning? Overwhelming workload is a huge factor. So if AI can genuinely help teachers reclaim their personal time, that could be a game changer for retention.
Making teaching a more sustainable career.
Exactly. Restoring professional boundaries, personal time.
So it's clear this is really changing how teachers spend their days. The report lists the specific tasks where AI saves the most time. Let me guess. Worksheets, admin, lesson prep.
You got it. Making worksheets or assessments, general admin work, and preparing to teach. Those are the big-time sinks that AI is tackling head-on.
Freeing teachers up for the stuff that really needs the human touch. Connecting with kids, personalized support, crafting those powerful learning moments.
Optimizing where human expertise is most valuable. That's the potential.
Okay, but here's maybe the kicker. It's not just about doing things faster. You're saying it's also about doing them better.
Yes. And this is where the story really shifts, I think. AI isn't just streamlining. It's genuinely elevating the actual quality of a teacher's work.
How so? What are the numbers on that?
A remarkable majority, depending on the task. It's between 57% and 64% of teachers are reporting that AI significantly improves the quality of their classroom work.
Wow. So over half are seeing better quality.
Yes. And crucially, very few, like 16% or less, report lower quality, which really underscores AI's role as an augmentation tool, not some kind of compromise on standards.
Efficiency and quality, that's the dream combo. Can you break down those quality improvements?
Sure. So a significant 64% see better quality in the materials they modify for student needs.
Okay, that personalization piece again.
Right. Imagine needing to adapt a complex science text for a diverse class. AI helps rephrase it simply, provide multiple explanations, generate stuff at different reading levels, ensuring every kid can access the core content. That's a huge quality jump in accessibility.
Makes sense. What else?
61% report generating higher quality insights from student learning data.
Okay, that's interesting. Moving beyond efficiency into deeper understanding.
Yeah. AI can quickly spot patterns in student performance across a class that a human eye might miss, right? Or summarize assessment trends.
Like, hey, heads up, half your class bombed question 3 on the quiz about fractions.
Exactly. Or maybe this specific group of students consistently struggles with this type of problem. That allows the teacher to intervene strategically, make more data-informed decisions. It's using computational power for deeper insights.
Okay, that's powerful. And you mentioned feedback quality, too.
Yes, 57% say AI improves the quality of their grading and student feedback.
How would that work? More consistent grading, more detailed comments.
Could be all of that. Maybe more consistent objective grading across many assignments. Maybe helping teachers craft more detailed, constructive comments faster. Or even helping phrase feedback in ways that might resonate better with different students.
So it's not just faster grading, it's feedback that actually helps students learn and grow more effectively.
That's the potential, yes.
Yeah.
More targeted, high-impact guidance.
And does usage frequency matter here too? Like, do the heavy users see more quality boosts?
Absolutely. The report highlights a really strong correlation. Teachers who use AI more frequently are twice as likely to report much higher quality work.
Wow. Twice as likely.
Yeah. It speaks directly to AI's capacity for augmentation, right?
Yeah.
It's not replacing the teacher's expertise, it's enhancing it, providing powerful tools to refine materials, analyze data better, generate more nuanced feedback.
So there's a learning curve. The more you use it, the more potential you unlock.
Seems like it. Proficiency and consistent use lead to higher levels of benefit. It's like an evolving partnership between the human expert and the AI capability.
Okay, this is a really significant shift. We've gone from just saving time on boring tasks to genuinely improving the core work of teaching, measurably.
It seems so.
But with all these clear benefits, this widespread adoption, is everyone on board? Is it all smooth sailing?
Well, no, not quite. Despite the usage and the benefits, there isn't universal embrace. It's still very much a mixed bag of opinions out there.
Okay, so what does the overall sentiment look like?
Well, the lack of a clear consensus isn't really surprising for a new, big technology like this, especially in education, right?
Sure, people are cautious.
Exactly. Overall, the report finds 40% of teachers favor AI tools in K-12 schools, strongly or somewhat, which is, a decent number.
40% favor. Okay. What about opposition?
A notable 28% oppose them, strongly or somewhat, and the rest. They're either neutral or just say they don't know.
So a big chunk is still kind of watching, waiting, evaluating.
That's what it suggests, a period of observation before they fully commit one way or the other. It's a natural, cautious approach.
Are there differences in who favors or opposes, like the subject matter?
Yeah, there are some interesting variations. Teachers in natural sciences show slightly higher favorability, 42%. Teachers of other subjects, 47%.
Okay. What about demographics?
Male teachers and Hispanic teachers also show a slightly higher likelihood to favor AI use, both around 44%.
Any thoughts on why those differences might exist?
It's hard to say definitively. Could be varying levels of digital literacy across disciplines, maybe more exposure to tech solutions in STEM fields, maybe subtle cultural factors about openness to new tools. It's complex.
But it shows it's not a uniform reaction. It matters for how you might roll out support or training.
Absolutely. If some groups are more receptive, understanding why could help engage others. It's definitely not a one-size-fits-all acceptance.
Now, here's something that sounds really interesting, almost contradictory. You mentioned high school teachers use AI a lot.
Yes, 66% usage, the highest group.
But the report says they're also among the most likely to oppose its broader use in K-12. How does that work? Heavy users being opponents.
It's a fascinating paradox, isn't it? And it highlights a really critical tension.
Okay, explain.
High school teachers, they can undeniably see the huge utility of AI for their own work, the time savings, the quality boost we talked about. They get it.
Right. They're benefiting directly.
But they're also on the absolute front lines, grappling directly with the challenges of student misuse.
Cheating, plagiarism, using AI when they shouldn't.
Exactly. The report points to another study, the Voices of Gen Z one, for context. It found 35% of high school students admit most or all of their classmates use AI inappropriately. That's way higher than the 24% for middle schoolers.
So high school teachers are seeing it firsthand much more often. They're dealing with the academic integrity headaches day in, day out.
Precisely. It's not a rejection of the tech for their own efficiency.
Yeah.
It's a very real, deeply felt concern about unregulated or inappropriate use by students.
And the potential impact on actual learning, like kids not developing critical thinking or writing skills.
That's the core of it. The fear isn't just about cheating on an assignment. It's about the potential insidious impact on developing those fundamental cognitive skills if students just rely on AI as a shortcut.
So it's less about the tool itself and more about the need for guardrails, ethical guidelines, and teaching kids how to use it right.
Exactly. It's not a call to ban the tech, but a passionate plea for thoughtful integration, clear policies, and teaching strategies that address these challenges head on.
Because AI can generate content, but it can't instill original thought or resilience or ethical judgment.
That's the human element of teaching that remains absolutely critical. This paradox really underscores the urgent need for robust ethical frameworks, explicit school policies, and teaching kids how to use AI responsibly and critically, not just trying to ban it.
Teaching them to be discerning users, not just passive consumers.
Exactly, empowering them.
Okay, so there's caution, especially from those seeing misuse. But you also mentioned something else, that actually using AI tends to change teachers' minds.
Yes. This is a really key finding. It seems, quite strongly, that seeing is believing when it comes to AI in education.
How so?
The report is very clear. Teachers who have used AI at least once are more than twice as likely to favor its use in K-12 compared to those who haven't used it at all.
Wow, more than twice as likely. What are the numbers?
It's 56% favoring among users versus just 16% among non-users.
That is a massive difference.
Yeah.
16% versus 56%. It's not subtle at all.
Not at all. It's almost like, as you said, a conversion experience. Direct personal experience fundamentally reshapes their perspective.
Why do you think that is? It just makes the benefits feel real.
I think so. Direct, hands-on experience transforms those abstract ideas and theoretical worries into concrete, tangible benefits. When you personally save hours on lesson planning, or you see the improved quality of your materials.
It stops being scary and starts being useful.
Exactly. Your perception becomes much more positive, practical, grounded in reality. This finding is a really strong indicator that just getting teachers exposed, giving them effective practical training, that could be the key to broadening acceptance and really maximizing that AI dividend across the whole profession.
Moves them from being cautious observers to confident adopters.
Systematically, yeah.
Okay. And what about the students? We heard teachers are worried about misuse, but what do students themselves think about AI in school?
Yeah, it's not just teachers grappling with this. Students have strong opinions too. And often, they're surprisingly aligned with their teachers on AI's potential usefulness.
Really? How so?
That Voices of Gen Z study, again, specifically asked K-12 students. And a remarkable 51%, a clear majority, think teachers should be allowed to use AI tools for things like planning lessons.
Okay, so kids see the value for teachers too.
Seems like it. And 39% think teachers should be allowed to use AI for grading.
Interesting. So there's alignment there, especially on the prep side.
Yeah, it suggests a kind of shared understanding of where the tech can provide value, ease burdens. It also hints at a generational readiness for AI integration, assuming it's guided thoughtfully. Students probably see the potential for better lessons, maybe faster feedback too.
It's common ground to build on. What about students using AI themselves for schoolwork?
They have nuanced views there too. 47% agree they should be allowed to use AI tools for classwork and homework.
So just under half think it should be allowed.
Right. It's not a universal demand for a free-for-all, but a recognition that this tool is relevant to their lives. And what's really interesting is that 31%, almost a third, are neutral, neither agreeing nor disagreeing.
Neutral, like the teachers who are still figuring it out.
Exactly. It reflects a similar kind of cautious optimism, maybe a desire for clearer rules. It suggests many students aren't just looking for an easy way out. They might see AI as a legitimate tool for research, brainstorming, refining writing, exploring ideas.
Like using a calculator for math or spell check for writing?
Kinda, yeah. Which really highlights how important it is to teach AI literacy, digital citizenship, ethical use right from the start. It's not about banning, it's about preparing them for a future where AI is everywhere.
Okay, so let's zoom out again. Beyond saving time, what's the big picture vision? What do teachers really hope AI can achieve for students in the classroom?
Their collective vision is actually quite inspiring. It really focuses on core teaching improvements, especially around accessibility and personalization.
Accessibility seems key.
Hugely. That's the top benefit teachers envision. 57% agree, or strongly agree, that AI will significantly improve the accessibility of learning materials for students with disabilities.
Over half. That's significant.
And that jumps even higher, to 65% for special education teachers themselves. They see the potential most clearly.
Wow. What does that look like in practice?
Imagine AI instantly adapting complex texts into simpler language, converting lectures to visual aids, generating materials in multiple languages, tailoring exercises for different learning styles or cognitive needs, all without adding hours to the teacher's day.
Creating truly inclusive classrooms where every kid can engage.
That's the potential. It could be a massive equity tool.
What other big hopes do teachers have?
Well, about half, 50%, agree AI will reduce their workload, reinforcing that dividend idea. Another 50% believe it will improve the quality of real-time feedback for students.
Getting that immediate, specific guidance during the learning process?
Right when they need it, yeah. And then 46% feel AI can make learning materials more engaging, maybe suggesting creative formats, adding interactive bits, generating diverse content, maybe even personalizing things to student interests.
Capturing their attention better.
That's the hope. And again, the report shows that teachers who actually use AI are way more likely to agree with these potential benefits.
Experience breeds optimism again.
Consistently. Over 60% of AI users agree it can help with accessibility, workload, real-time feedback, compared to much lower numbers for non-users. Hands-on experience just illuminates the potential in a way abstract discussion can't.
Okay, so lots of hope for teacher workload, accessibility, feedback, engagement. But what about direct student outcomes? Like, are teachers convinced AI will actually raise grades or make kids smarter?
Well, that's where the picture gets a bit blurrier, more cautious. There's definitely less certainty, More of a wait-and-see attitude about AI's direct impact on things like overall engagement, motivation, grades, even college and workforce readiness.
Why the uncertainty there?
It just reflects the complexity, right? Measuring direct causal impacts on something as multifaceted as student learning is really hard. Unlike teacher workload, which you can measure in hours saved, the long-term effects on student development, they're influenced by countless factors.
Harder to pin down.
Exactly. So about 4 in 10 teachers are either neutral or just don't know what the effect will be on those direct student outcomes. Take grades, for instance. 32% predict grades will go up, but 10% actually predict they'll go down.
That spread shows a real lack of consensus. It's not seen as a magic bullet for grades.
Definitely not. It highlights that AI is a tool, and its impact depends heavily on how it's used, how teachers guide it, and whether students learn to use it wisely. The human teaching element is still paramount.
Okay. But there was that big yellow flag you mentioned earlier, the major concern shared by both teachers and students.
Yes. Critical thinking, independent problem solving, persistence. That's the big worry, the potential erosion of these core skills.
And students feel this too.
Strongly. That Voices of Gen Z study found 49%, almost half of students themselves, believe AI will hurt their ability to think about information carefully and critically.
Wow. That's a pretty stark self-assessment from kids growing up with this stuff.
It really is. And similarly, independent thinking and critical thinking. Those are the top 2 areas where teachers predict negative effects from AI on student outcomes.
So it's a deep shared concern. While AI offers shortcuts, answers, solutions, everyone senses the risk of bypassing the struggle needed for real learning.
Precisely. The worry is that over-reliance leads to cognitive shortcuts, skipping the deep processing, analysis, synthesis that builds true understanding and intellectual muscle. It raises fundamental questions about balancing efficiency with deep learning.
Which suggests the teacher's role becomes even more critical in fostering those human skills: analysis, creativity, ethics, persistence, while maybe letting AI handle some information gathering.
That's a powerful way to frame it. Teaching students to drive the AI, not be driven by it, focusing on what humans do best.
Here comes that pattern again. Despite these valid concerns, the teachers who use AI more frequently, they're actually more optimistic about student outcomes too.
Yes. Experience seems to temper even these deeper concerns, or at least helps teachers envision ways to mitigate them while still leveraging the benefits.
How much more optimistic?
Significantly. Take student engagement, for example. 48% of teachers who use AI weekly think it will increase student engagement. Compare that to just 28% of infrequent users and 25% of non-users.
Again, a massive jump, nearly 20 points based on experience.
It's a consistent finding. It powerfully suggests that once teachers get comfortable, once they see how the saved time lets them create more dynamic, personalized, engaging lessons,
They start to see how that translates into more motivated students, better learning, despite the risks.
Exactly. When teachers have more bandwidth, more mental space to be creative educators, the positive impact on students becomes more tangible. It gives them a clearer, more optimistic vision of AI as a lever for pedagogical improvement, not just efficiency.
Okay, so individual teachers are adopting it, finding benefits, navigating concerns. But what about the system? How can schools and districts really maximize AI's potential? Does leadership matter?
Hugely. The report indicates a direct, really strong link between a school having an official AI policy and higher teacher usage, plus bigger benefits.
Really, policies make that much difference.
The data is pretty clear. Schools with an AI policy see higher teacher usage, 70% versus 60% without a policy.
Okay, 10 points higher. That's substantial.
And maybe even more importantly, they get a 26% greater AI dividend. They save 2.3 hours per teacher per week, compared to 1.7 hours in schools without a policy.
Wow, so clear guidelines lead to more use and bigger time savings. Why?
Well, it makes sense, right? A clear policy provides guidance. It reduces uncertainty for teachers who might hesitate otherwise. And crucially, it signals institutional support. Yes, here's how we think about it.
Moves teachers from being hesitant observers to confident adopters.
Exactly. It creates a coherent, supportive environment and amplifies the benefits school-wide. It's a strong call to action for administrators.
Now, here's the stark part. Despite those clear benefits, only about 1 in 5 teachers, just 19%, currently work at a school with an official AI policy.
Only 19%. That seems incredibly low given how fast this is moving.
It is startlingly low. It means the vast majority of schools are operating without clear, formal guidance, leaving individual teachers to figure it out on their own. Which means that whole AI dividend, the time savings, the quality boosts, most of it is still unrealized potential. It's still on the table.
Largely, yes.
Yeah.
That's the implication. For AI to be integrated equitably and effectively at scale, beyond just the pioneers, systemic support through formal policies seems essential, not just nice to have, but essential.
And it's not just about teachers. You mentioned policies impacting students' future readiness, too.
Profoundly. The Voices of Gen Z study again. In schools that allow AI use, 57% of students feel confident they'll know how to use AI after graduation for college or work.
Okay, 57%. What about schools that don't allow it?
That confidence plummets dramatically, down to just 32% in schools that don't allow AI.
Wow, that's a huge gap in perceived preparedness for the future.
It's a profound implication, isn't it? Schools embracing AI aren't just modernizing teaching. They're actively preparing kids for a world where AI literacy will be fundamental, like digital literacy is now.
And schools prohibiting it might actually be disadvantaging their students for what comes next.
That's the risk. Leave them unprepared for the tools and workflows they'll inevitably encounter. AI isn't just a classroom gadget. It's becoming an essential life skill.
Okay, so policies are powerful, benefits are clear. Why aren't more schools implementing them? And what about training? Are teachers actually getting taught how to use this stuff?
Well, that's the other major gap. It really seems teachers are largely on their own here, navigating this new frontier by themselves.
How bad is the training gap?
Pretty significant. The report finds most teachers, a striking 68%, have not received any school or district-provided training on AI.
Over 2/3 have had no formal training, so how are they learning?
They're teaching themselves. Teachers are far more likely to be self-taught. 52% report learning on their own, compared to only 31% who've received formal training from their school or district.
Wow, that speaks volumes about teachers' initiative, doesn't it? Taking it upon themselves.
Incredible dedication and adaptability, absolutely. But it also points to a big systemic issue.
Because self-teaching can be inconsistent, miss best practices, security risks even.
All of that. If everyone's figuring it out in isolation, you get inconsistency, maybe missed opportunities for deeper integration, potentially using unvetted tools. It's kind of the Wild West, not sustainable or equitable.
So you combine that lack of training with the fact only 19% have a school policy.
And it becomes crystal clear. Most schools have this huge untapped potential, that powerful AI dividend. It's still very much on the table, waiting for broader institutional support, clear frameworks, comprehensive training to really unlock its full power across the whole system.
The current benefits, impressive as they are, might just be the tip of the iceberg.
Very likely. It's an opportunity for transformation that's waiting for intentional leadership.
Okay, what a deep dive this has been. Let's try to wrap up the key takeaways. We've seen AI as already this quiet but really profound revolution happening in K-12 classrooms.
Widespread adoption.
Right. And it's giving teachers back an astonishing amount of time, potentially 6 weeks a year, time they're overwhelmingly putting right back into their teaching.
Making lessons better, feedback more meaningful, and maybe making the job itself more sustainable.
Exactly. It's not just efficiency. They're reporting real quality improvements, too.
Indeed. The data shows when teachers invest in AI, they gain valuable time and enhance their work quality. Now, those concerns about student misuse, critical thinking, they're valid, absolutely. They need careful attention, proactive policy.
But the overall trajectory seems clear. AI is a powerful, augmenting tool for educators.
Especially when supported by clear school policies and adequate training, and that direct experience. It really shifts perception from apprehension to optimism.
It really feels like we're at this pivotal moment, doesn't it? The AI dividend is clearly real. It's on the table.
Waiting to be claimed by more teachers, more schools, through thoughtful, strategic, supported implementation.
The potential benefits for teacher well-being, instruction quality, student access, they seem too significant to just ignore.
Which does raise this important, kind of profound question for all of us, right? Whether we're educators, parents, policymakers. If AI can truly free up teachers to focus on the most impactful human parts of their job, the deep teaching, the relationship building.
It's stuff only humans can do.
Exactly. What kind of fundamental educational transformation could we witness then? What new teaching approaches might emerge? What new levels of personalized learning could we hit when that crushing burden of admin and prep is lifted?
And maybe the flip side of that question is, how do we as a society make sure this incredibly powerful tech is integrated in a way that truly benefits every single student, not just widening gaps, preparing them not just for tests, but for a future where AI is woven into everything and where, ironically perhaps, human skills like critical thinking and creativity are more vital than ever?
It's a deep, complex question. Absolutely. And definitely one worth exploring further as we all continue to navigate this fascinating, rapidly changing future of education.